Hello there, Libra. My name is Indra. Welcome to your reading. I will see you in just a moment. Yeah, so what do you make of the energies right now, Libra? For me, I find them to be very intense. I'm enjoying kind of like a positive kind of side to things. I'm actually really enjoying it right now. Um, for various reasons, really, but I just feel like there's this overall energy right now of kind of turning the page and allowing what's new to come in. And I feel like a lot of blessings are coming in for people, as cliche as that sounds. But like, I just feel like, um, yeah, a lot of things that have been in the works for a long time, they're kind of coming to fruition, and yeah, they're coming down the pipeline, ready to be experienced and lived out, essentially. So yeah, as I said to you before, we are going to be using the Celtic cross spread today. So let's see what we have for you. It's always a challenge for me to sort of position these cards correctly on on the table because right now I don't actually have access to kind of the camera unless I really sort of like look up. So it's kind of difficult, but I'm hoping that as my channel grows, I can sort of afford to invest in sort of more suitable technology that's going to help me deliver better quality in general. But until then, this is what we have to deal with. So yes, so what I'm going to be doing as well is I'm currently experimenting with this, but I'm really enjoying it so far, so I'm just going to continue. And that's to turn all the cards up first of all, like so, rather than do it one by one. Okay, so for the bottom of the deck, we have the Ace of Wands. Interesting, very very nice. That very much aligns with the overall energy of what I was describing just a moment ago. So let's turn all these up. Ooh, Knight of Wands. Ooh, very nice. Okay. Ooh, very tasty indeed. We've got the world in there. Oh man, I'm loving this reading already. Very high vibrational, very good stuff. Wow, incredible. Ooh, I feel the energy. Nice. Okay. Yeah, the energy in this reading is palpable. That's so cool, man. So, let's see. Right, let's take this to the bottom. There we go. So, as I said to you before, we've got the Ace of Wands for the bottom of the deck. I'm just going to be sort of borrowing from that. I'm intuitively kind of reading into like what to do with this placement. And to me, it's just kind of very fluid, and it's just kind of like an aid for me to really kind of, it's almost like an anchor that I can anchor the reading off of in a sense. But okay, so for your current energies, that is the current sort of like life you're living, the current energy that you're embodying day to day is the Knight of Wands. I love it. I love it. So, so the Knight of Wands, he's hasty. Some people can say he's too hasty and he's rushing in. He can represent mystery with these pyramids here in the background here. They've got the pyramids. Obviously, pyramids have long been associated with mystery. It can represent, let's see if I can remember. He's brave, he's ambitious. So I just feel like you're kind of moving on, honestly, and you have a lot of energy right now. Wands, they can represent willpower, energy, inspiration, motivation, all that good stuff. There's definitely some strong wand energy now that I'm seeing it. There's strong, wow, even the four of wands here is here as well. So definitely this is a time for you to, well, right now even, not two, but this is what you're experiencing right now. It's definitely this sense of like optimism, motivation, inspiration, definitely this like strong action. You're definitely you're not just talking. What is it they say? You're not just talking the talk. You're walking it as well. You're walking the walk. Okay, it's time for action. So the Ace of Wands. Let's just spend a bit of time on the Ace of Wands here. The Ace of Wands can represent having a call to action. It can kind of also give you like this new found sense of inspiration and energy. Um, it can usually be seen as kind of like this spark of inspiration. Um, but so there is so the downer to kind of like the Ace of Wands is that there's like this time limit. It's almost like this like it's like if you were to start a fire in nature with you get that spark going. It's like you better capitalize on it, right? So that's important. That's a word of warning. Maybe this opportunity right now is kind of like a train you need to jump on that's going to basically carry you through to like this it's an opportunity to basically jump many levels ahead very quickly if you capitalize on it essentially. So yeah, it could just yeah, I just feel like that's what it is. It's a big idea. It's your goals. It's your inspiration in life. What's something that's gonna like really propel you forward, essentially. So definitely capitalize on it while it's here. So for your Eight of Cups, sorry, for your energies that's either helping or hindering you, we've got the Eight of Cups. So that's quite interesting. So the Eight of Cups. It can represent spirituality, intuition, letting go of something, having to have needing to have bravery in order to do that sometimes. And it can also, to me at least, I don't know if this is like an official meaning or what have you, but for me, I interpret this as kind of like the young hermit. If you're familiar with the hermit energy, the hermit card, the young this to me is the hermit, just as he's kind of becoming the hermit. He's just decided to step away from whatever this is, and the things associated with it, and he's just embarking on a brand new beginning, a brand new challenge, even as well, a brand new page, right? So this to me is confirmation of what I was talking about earlier, of like how we're basically being asked and invited even to turn the page. um, so to move on now from whatever happened in the past, right? And embrace, what's waiting for us in the future. It can also be, just quickly before I get to that. So it can also be talking about like kind of the spiritual path. So it could just mean that your intuition is very much like being turned on right now, kind of like an activation, and you're feeling that intuitive kind of download and guidance from your guides, what have you, from the universe, to kind of move on and let's progress now. Okay, let's go. Um, so I feel like I could spend ages there, so I'm going to move on. The Seven of Swords here. This is the basis of your reading, so this is what it's all about essentially. So let's see now. Let me just give you a little bit of a close up here. I hope the lighting's okay for this reading, by the way. I'll see what I can do post, sort of like when I'm producing it, uh, editing this video together. But I'm actually like recording this much later in the day, and so I don't really have that same sort of lighting as I usually would. But I'll see what I can do anyway. Hopefully, you won't even notice. But yeah, the Seven of Swords. So the Seven of Swords, again, as I was saying to you, it's a card of action. Okay. Now the story here is this guy carrying these swords is basically, traditionally this is, well, commonly, I don't know about traditionally, but commonly this card is a card of thievery. So when people get this in readings, they say, oh, look out, like there's a thief on the loose, sort of thing. But honestly, there's so much more to this card. Um, the story here is that this guy, he lives in this sort of like town, kind of off screen here, and he's noticed that in the distance there's these soldiers, there's these band of soldiers in their tents and whatnot here, and they're basically planning an invasion, a takeover of his town, right? So it's a card of base. Well, before I get into that, so he's decided to, rather than just sort of like tackle them head on and like kind of fight them in battle, he's basically decided to like sneakily head off and steal their weapons, right? So he's literally, it's a kind of smarter, not harder. So that could be a message for you. Think about how, I mean, I think I mentioned it already. This is a card of action. There's so much action energy here, man. It's crazy. It's lit. I'm telling you. So basically, it could be a word of kind of like advice from your guides even, that like to think about and evaluate how you can basically be working smarter, not harder. Because it seems like you're working hard, honestly. There's a lot of like action energy here. So I don't doubt that for a second that you're taking affirmative action in the right direction. However, I just feel like there's a message here to be like, hey, maybe that's great, like brilliant, keep that up, but let's see if you can like optimize it, right? Refine it on how you do things. So, I'm always on the lookout to see how I can make things as optimal as possible, essentially, because I have a lot of Virgo in my chart. But anyway, so yeah, I just feel like it's a card of action, okay, taking action, more confirmation. And the yellow here can very much be talking about like success. And now that I'm mentioning that, there's a lot of yellow here. So this is a big time for success, I'm telling you. So it looks really positive, honestly. To me, it's like the sun is here, like this yellow. It's all very much like sun energy, which very much talks about success, overwhelming success coming in. So yeah, I just feel like it's a confirmation of action in the right direction, progress, um, and yeah, just an opportunity to uh, refine what you're doing. In the area of your recent past, we have the Four of Pentacles. I feel like this here isn't even really talking about anything other than really how this is like a portal. And ironically, as this, that's very interesting. So this can be 1111 as well. You've got a wand here, here, and here. And together, it kind of looks like a 1111, right? And ironically, this is going to be posted on 1111, the 11th of November. So interesting sync here. But ultimately, I just feel like you've gone through this portal of like abundance, and you're stepping into your new life essentially. So that's what's going on here. This is a brilliant placement for your potential outcome. We have the world. I mean, fantastic. Like you could hardly ask for a better card in this position right now. So the world is number 21 in the major arcana. It can represent integration, completion, fulfillment, mastery, and attainment. The world is actually the final card of the major arcana, so it literally wraps up the fool's journey, as he embarked all the way through the major arcana, and this is him literally, or her, it's not gender specific, but he literally ascends basically back to source essentially, and then the story goes that he's gonna repeat it because he likes it essentially. Like that's what a soul does, a spirit does. He just there's never really an end to this, but yes, it just feels like again wrapping everything up, everything that came before, all this tough stuck energy that you've been dealing with for who knows how long. Could be years, could be a decade, whatever. It could be months. I doubt it though. It's more like year energy. This is big. Yeah, it just feels like you're completing, as I was saying to you all along this reading, like it's the end of this book that's been told now. It's time to write a new sequel book. Okay, it's like okay that we did that book now, great, moving on. What are we writing next? What book is the next release, so to speak. So it just feels like completion. You're completing this cycle. Um, so I could spend a long time on that one as well, but let's carry on. So in the in your near future, we have the Nine of Wands. Now the Nine of Wands is a card of determination, enforcing boundaries. It's a card of survival, inner strength, having to tap into to one's inner strength, and also victory. So for you, I just feel like it's more confirmation that you've gone through so much stuff here in the past, and now you're moving on into the next chapter, essentially, and with a big victory, essentially, overcoming it and surviving it ultimately, because many people falter. Excuse me, that's my daughter, if you can hear that. She's such a light in my life. Okay, so moving on in the position of yourself, this is how you are influencing this whole situation. We have the star. The star is number 17 in the major arcana. It can represent regeneration. It can represent um, hope, uh, guidance. Okay, your North Star. Um, as you can see, this big yellow star. That's the North Star. This is something that is always propelling us forward. It's that one thing that you're aiming to accomplish in this lifetime. So, and it can also represent inspiration. I just feel like you're being very inspired right now, and I feel like you might be even taking time to sort of heal as well. And like this whole time right now could be very healing for you and regenerative. Um, I just feel like you have a lot of hope for life right now, and you're feeling that guidance every day, every hour, perhaps, like even stronger, like every day or something. It's like really intense right now, as I described earlier. And you have the faith. Okay, you're living in a state of faith that everything's going to be good. Obviously, general message. Take what resonates, leave the rest. Okay, in your area of your environment, this is people, places, energies, or something. I don't know. We have the Queen of Pentacles. Um, so the Queen of Pentacles, she's generous, she's dependable, she can represent sort of like luxurious living. She doesn't go without anything. It can represent comfort. I just feel like you've got a great environment. I mean, this card certainly suggests so. There's nothing possibly anything I could say that is negative about your environment regarding this card. Um, very supportive, generous. Again, take what resonates. Maybe it's not for all of you out there, but yeah, it feels like a really nice, supportive environment. Stable, rooted, perhaps, because Pentacle energy, very much like grounded energy. In your the hopes and fears, we have Five of Pentacles. Now, Five of Pentacles is a card of poverty, um, hard times, negativity, desperation, and finally low self-esteem. Uh, Now, hopes and fears often come tied. I think they kind of always come tied. So if you hope for money, on the flip side, you fear that you won't get the money, etc. So I just feel like part of you is just can't believe that this energy is like happening right now. That you're able to move on with your life. It tells me that you've been out in the cold for a long time, and part of you is sort of like, oh my God, is this really happening? Like, is this this kind of like old identity attachment, if you will, of like poverty and like lack and like struggling, you know. It could be coming from childhood, even, a whole lifetime. I know for me, like I resonate with this reading. So my childhood was really tough. So yeah, for me personally, I feel like, yeah, it's like a part of me that's like, is this really happening right now? Like, is it okay? Is it safe to let go of like this old sort of like way of doing things because I was in survival for so long, you know? So maybe some of you are feeling the same way. So I don't feel that though, honestly. I mean, in terms of your potential outcome and your outcome even, I haven't even got to that yet, but we have the world, completion, moving on. Um, just really, really good signs that no, you can rest assured things aren't going to be back to the way they were. And so finally, the Chariot. We have the Chariot, number 7. The Chariot is a card of determination, uh, new direction, um, success, travel. Some of you guys could be traveling out from where you are. I don't know. Maybe you could be traveling to a new timeline, even. I mean, hey, like this could be interpreted a multitude of ways. Like this guy could be some sort of like this could be a spaceship and he's like traveling through dimensions or something. He could be literally like teleporting into a different dimension, into a different timeline. So it could just be that you're feeling like very successful and you're feeling like things are really headed in the right direction and you're jumping timelines, into positive timelines, right? Into timelines that you had always hoped for and envisioned. And I just feel like this is a really great opportunity with the Ace of Wands here to really jump through and make it manifest. So the Four of Wands is here as well. Let me remind you. So Portal. I just feel like in the recent past you literally jumped through it. So um, yeah, overwhelming success. The Chariot. Just to spend a little moment on here before I say goodbye to you guys. The Chariot. There's a city behind him, and he's literally heading off out that city in a new direction. Okay, on a new adventure. Okay, it's. I mean, what more do you want here? Like this real vibes of like turning over a new leaf, saying goodbye to the old, right? Embracing the new. So if I was to sum up this reading, I'd say that it's overwhelmingly positive. I would advise you to really capitalize on this time and really tune in to what could be the most beneficial thing for you to um, kind of invest in. You know, is the juice worth the squeeze? Like invest in things that give back to you, essentially. And yeah, I just feel like it's a very magical time for you with all this wand energy. I mean, you've got one, two, three, four wands placements here, with obviously the main one being the Ace of Wands here, and your current energy. So hey, like yeah, definitely capitalize on this time right now. I would love to know what is happening in your own life. If this reading resonated for you, I resonate with this reading myself. So yeah. Okay then. I think that's about it now, Libra. Yeah, this was a pleasure to do this reading for you. If this resonated for you, if you enjoyed my reading style, etc., definitely give me a like, subscribe for more. I'm doing these every single day now. I have big plans for my channel, so definitely be a part of the train. Yeah, leave me a comment. Let me know what's going on in your life. This was Indra Montes, and thank you for being here. I'll see you in the next one.